as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there, all the smiling faces, gathering along the Scotswood Road to see the bleeding races. We went to bleeding races.
Oh, it's back through Bartes!
1862 on a summer's afternoon, we took the bus from Bambras and she was heavy laden. Where we went along Collingwood Street, that's on the road to Bladen. Whoa, me lads, you should have seen us gunning, passing the folks along the road just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there, all with smiling faces, gathering along the Scotswood Road to see the bleeding races.
Yes, people, welcome back to another video. John Sinclair TV back again this afternoon. I've got Tony and I've got Pete. Good afternoon, you two.
How are you all?
Afternoon, John. Yeah, not bad. You, Pete?
Not too bad.
Brilliant stuff. So it's a bit of like, you could say it's a short notice, basically, sort of thing, but I was going to have a day off. But you know what? We can't go over without chatting about the subject today because it's just an absolute farce. It really is. And if you like the video, like what you see, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Also, if you'd like to super chat today, click on the $sign. And if you'd like to become a member, just click on the join button as well. Thank you very much indeed. Now, I want to talk about this, right? I mean, Eddie Howe, right, got booed yesterday, right, after the Bournemouth game, right? And some of the fans want him gone. Some of the fans want him out. Now, I had tweets going on to us and say, get Tuchel in, excuse me. Get him in there, sack Howe, get Tuchel in, right? Eddie Howe will not get sacked. Eddie Howe, he's going to be Newcastle manager for a long time, yeah? People need to get used to this, right? And let me tell you something now, right? If you want him gone, excuse me, then someone please tell us who you want in. Who do you want to place him? Because I'll tell you something new, right? Our fan base needs to wake up, smell the coffee, right? And just get used to this because, look, I'll start the question. Where were we for the last 14 years? Yeah. Our fan base are difficult to please at this moment in time, yeah. One minute we love him and next minute you don't, yeah. I think it's an absolute disgrace, fan base, right? And I've got some comments here already before we get on to 21st. Big up to Andrew B. The Trouble Trio, thank you very much indeed. Big up to Gareth as well. Big up to Tom. Yesterday was frustrating, not good enough, but there will be bumps in the road. People booing our asses, exactly. Totally agree. And big up to Leslie as well. You know what it is, right? Eddie Howe, right, is doing a fantastic job with the squad we've got, yeah? And yesterday's game was shocking, yesterday in the second half as well. Now, like I said, in my opinion, it's going to take a few transfer windows, right, to get things right. It's not going to work overnight. Rome was not built in a day, right? In my opinion, right, I say about 2, 3, 4 more transfer windows, which Eddie deserves to get, and our team will be absolutely fantastic. The bottom line is, it is the mess that Ashley has created, Ashley's left us with, the new owners with, and it's going to take a few years, maybe, to get things right. I mean, Tony, do you think I'm right in saying? What do you think?
Yeah, John, because, you know, what people have got to realise is, you know, Eddie Howe came into a mess in November. I mean, yes. We were bottom of the league, hadn't won a game, were struggling badly, turned the team around, turned the fortunes around of the team. Yes, we got a little bit of help in January with the signings. But, you know, there was only 5 signings in January. Mm-hmm. And bearing in mind, one of those signings was out for 12 weeks with a broken metatarsal. So, you know, so to turn around the team from where we were, had not won in 14 games, to then finish in 11th at the end of the season, where I would have been happy had we finished 17th last season, if I'm honest, because that would have got us out the relegation zone and we wouldn't have gone down. So, you know, to finish even higher was well above my expectations, if I'm honest. But you know, and people have got to understand this year, this is a new season. We've only lost one game. Bearing in mind, we shouldn't have lost that game because we were done over by VAR on that game against Liverpool. Because of some stupid excuse about shadows on the pitch, which is a load of bollocks in my eyes. And also the extra time that referee added on Andre Mariner. And another important thing, which I looked at as well, but if you look at Andre Mariner, he can't keep up with play. I don't know why he's still refereeing, if I'm honest. He can't keep up with the play. So he added on extra time, which allowed Liverpool to get that winner. Had he blew that whistle at, say, 96.5 minutes, they wouldn't have got that winner and it would have been a 1-1 draw. So we would have been unbeaten. So we've only lost one. That's Liverpool. Now, the thing I can see people's frustrations in one way, that, you know, why can't we beat teams like Bournemouth, right? That is a question. Why can't we finish teams off like Bournemouth? Why are we struggling to get a draw with Bournemouth? I mean, they went ahead. We got that penalty thanks to VAR intervening. You know, I know Dion Dublin's already said, oh, well, it looks like it's hit his knee before it's hit the hand. Well, I'm sorry, if you look at it, it's clearly hit his hand first. He's put his hand out with intent to stop that ball. That's a penalty all day long. So that's what you got to look at there. So, yeah, we should have beat Bournemouth, right? Okay, fair enough. The problem is yesterday we were too slow, too pedestrian. That was the problem. We weren't quick enough. We weren't quick enough in the game up. We should have been quick at that game. We should have made Bournemouth move quicker. But what we were doing was, because we were so slow in that game, we were allowing Bournemouth to get all their players back into position. So then they had their banks at 4 and 5 to stop us from, I mean, at one point when we put that cross in the box, there was like 7 Bournemouth players in that box, John, you know?
Yeah.
And that's where I'm saying, if we had quickened that game up, we would have won that game hands down. And I'm not having to go Eddie Howe on this at all. So before anybody says I'm having to go down, I'm not. But what I want to know is, why can't we beat the likes of Bournemouth? But why, when we play the likes of Man City, we're playing Man City nearly off the park? You know, if we can play Man City like that and against Liverpool like that, why can't we do it against teams like Bournemouth? Why have we got to play slow against them teams? They're 3 points you need in the bag. They're your bread and butter. And it's at home. We shouldn't be letting them dictate how we play, you know? So that's the only criticism I've got, is why we're not putting teams like Bournemouth away, you know? This team got beat 9-0 3 weeks ago. Okay, fair enough. They got the manager sacked. New manager came in. You got a 0-0 with Wolves in the beat Forest 3-2. They only beat Forest 3-2 because Forest were poor. But we're better than Forest. But why couldn't we beat Bournemouth? And that is a criticism there, you know. So, like I say, we can raise our game against the likes of City and have a thrilling 3-3 draw with them. But against Bournemouth, it's a dire game. You know, and it's a dire game, and we're not doing enough to quicken it up. So that's the only criticism I got there. But for people wanting Eddie Howe out, I'm sorry. Yeah, Muppets at the end of the day. Absolute Muppets. Because this guy has done everything he can. I would like to see all these people out there are so-called managers. I think that Eddie Howe shouldn't be there. Tell you what, why don't you go along, do a training session, train them lads up for a Saturday afternoon game, stand on the touchline, make all the decisions, bring all your subs on. Because who are you going to bring on? Because you ain't got anybody on that bench who is good enough to come on and change a game. Now, you look at Tottenham yesterday. Son was dropped and he comes off the bench and bangs in a 13-minute hat-trick. A couple of weeks before that, Man City play Forest, bring Haaland off, bring Alvarez on, he bangs 2 in. So at the end of the day, we've got nobody on that bench that can come off and change a game like an Alvarez, like a Son. You know, people need to be real. The problem lies with the 14 years of mismanagement from the former owner, who didn't care less about the club and thought more about the money going in his pocket. That's all he thought about. And at the end of the day, we have got to start we will get things right. It's going to take time. But we do need a stronger bench. And let's hope we give Eddie Howe the chance to turn this around. We've only lost one game like I've just said, we've lost one game and people are in meltdown. Let's get rid of Eddie Howe. I don't want Thomas Tuchel in, and I don't think Thomas Tuchel wants another job at the minute. He's already said he's having a break. So, if any manager should be under pressure in this Premier League, it's got to be Brendan Rodgers, because they're absolutely awful, And some fans were crying out for him last year. I'm glad we didn't get him. I don't know what your thoughts are, John.
I agree with you 100%. I agree with you all the way, because Brendan Rodgers, he's a manager who starts really well, but it goes downhill, in my opinion. Yeah, people pick up this guy saying that, he's going to be a world-class manager, and this is going to be a world-class manager. That if he was world-class, why did he get sacked by Liverpool? Number one, getting bad results. Number two, why did he bottle it against Celtic? Right, he should have seen the job through, and waited for a bigger club. Right now, Brendan Rodgers is paying the price for it. Yeah, he is going to get sacked. He'll be gone before Christmas. I can guarantee you that, because they cannot afford to pay him off at this moment in time. 25 million quid, they got to fork out on that. Well, I tell you something, you ever gave him that contract before, you got to blame Leicester for that. I think it's daft, but you're right, mate. You're absolutely right, Tony, because at the end of the day, right, Eddie Howe, he needs all the backing, all the support from us. Simple as that. So, got some more comments coming in. Nothing to panic about. Our squad is still thin and quality, and I think we're lacking a leader up front. It's all gets sorted in time. Keep the faith in Eddie. Can't believe fans saying Eddie out. Look how he's changed the football, the culture since Steve Bruce. I think the boring yesterday was selected as a player's performance, rather than Eddie Howe. Despite the manager making some sense, makes some questionable decisions at a time, fans can't start blaming him. Exactly. You can only go with what he's got. I have suspicions he could be overthrowing the squad a bit like just a theory. And one defeat so far this season, robbed on them occasions. So what's the big deal? You are still the rebuild of the club. Keep the faith, people. Pete, what's your take on what's going on? Do you think Eddie Howe should be blamed for me? I don't think he should.
Absolutely not. I think you could say the booing was more towards the players, because it was a pretty flat performance. It wasn't fun. It wasn't a great performance at all. But all these people that want Eddie Howe out, who do you want Steve Bruce back? Do you want him back? Or who do you think's going to do a better job at this moment of time? It's definitely majority down to a lot of the quality, because we just haven't got it. Particularly the substitutes bench. It's championship level at best, pretty much. It really, really is. And again, down to past regime, given all these average players on players that have been here far too long and needed to be moved on. Ridiculous contracts. So many years, so much in wages, and it's hard to get them out the door. It really, really is. Murphy, I don't know why he signed that long contract. He's still got a long time left. But the good thing is, some of these players are really coming to the end. The likes of Richie, Dummett, I think, is definitely another one as well. And there's got to be a couple more as well out the door at the end of the season. Good riddance, and we can start to look to progress more then. So, but it's not down to Eddie Howe's fault. A lot of it's down to past regime. And the way that they left this club in an absolute pigsty. Absolute pigsty they left this club in. And the owners, and Eddie Howe, still trying to clear up the mess that was left under it. When Mike Ashley was here, when Lee Charney was here, and all the other idiots who were running this football club as well, and Steve Bruce, and all the other crap managers we had as well.
Yeah, totally agree with you there, Pete, 100%. And that's my view as well, because, look, at the end of the day, right, when it comes down to it, they've got a big job on. I think this team does a lot of work all over the club as well. I'm afraid to say it, a lot of work all over the club, not just on the playing side, but on the board side as well. And we're going to give them all the time in the land, you know what I mean? They've got to be given a chance there. Honestly, so far, I think I read that. Apart from the football, lads, can I just mention how good the Royal tribute was? That national anthem got me. Not often that happens. Respect to all those fans who stand just loads. Brilliant words, Andrew. Brilliant words, mate. Some people are just idiots, fat guys. I agree. Facebook user and these are your name. Is everyone gone on your horse, John? No, it's not. I got my friend Billy. Always nice to see a team in black and white stripes wins. 3 cheers to St. Mirren. Look, at the end of the day, sort of thing, first defeat of the season. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but Celtic had 71%, 81% possession, John, over St. Mirren. You know, I mean,
I'm going to be saying this. I'm glad Celtic lost today because the fans were a disgrace again.
Yeah. I'm a Celtic fan, as you know, guys. But listen, at the end of the day, right? I mean, Ange Postecoglou filled a weakened team out of the day. And he's got to be questioned for that as well, for picking that team at the end of the day. So, can't blame players, got to blame him. He picked the team. That is that. Had a kip and very much better. COVID tested negative. And glad you got better, Billy. Glad you're okay, mate. Good to hear, Billy. Evening to you, Ian. Hope you're okay, mate. Cheers to you, everyone in March. Hope you're okay, mate. South Africa. Hi, guys. Sorry I'm a bit late to join us. James, absolutely fine, mate. Have full faith in the orders and Eddie Howe, the lads. We just need to have patience. James, well said, mate. And James, I think it's your first time. Can you hit the subscribe button, please? That'd be amazing. Thank you very much indeed. And Eddie, we trust we do. Afternoon, lads, and Mansell, we're fine, mate. Evening, or our fantasies are calm, dude. Our benches bang average and things will take time. Madison showed over the weekend why he's a better than Paqueta. Oh, did you see him play today?
I heard he was poor.
Yeah.
He got pulled off after 61 minutes.
Yeah. And all these people saying, get him in. He's Bruno's mate. You know, I tell you now, people, right? It's not the owner's choice. It's the fan's choice. Yeah. There you go.
Thing is, John.
Yeah.
Sorry. Thing is, John, I mean, when I was beating the drum for getting Maddison, and I was all for Maddison coming into the club because I said he was the better player, you know, and that he's got Premier League experience. But even back then, when we were in for him, I had people messaging me saying, "Are you off your rocker? Paqueta's better than Maddison." And I'm like, but he's not, because he's not Premier League proven where Maddison is. But people kept saying to me, I'm stupid, out shouting for Maddison. He's not the player. You do no good at it. And I thought, do you know what? They don't know. You know, at the end of the day, who's right? Because we're seeing what Paqueta's doing. He's not playing full games for West Ham. And he's cost them like £60 million or whatever it was, you know. And yet Maddison is doing the business. He's top scorer for Leicester this season, even though they're bottom of the league on 1 point.
Absolutely. Do you know what I said to them, Tony? I would have told Tony, have you watched the French league? Have you watched the Italian league? Have you watched his performances week in, week out? I would have turned around to him and said, have you seen him play in those leagues? And they soon shot them up. And they soon shot them up a bit, I'm telling you.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, because, I mean, you know more than what I'll do, John, because obviously no disrespect, I don't watch the Italian league, but from what I've read in previous reports and that, when he was in AC Milan, I believe, he was very poor there. Went to France. He's played well in France. No disrespect to Ligue 1 in France, but it ain't Premier League. And maybe he's coming over here now, and maybe it's going to be another Italy for him over here. Who knows?
Well, I'll tell you something. They spent a lot of money for this guy. 52 million quid they paid for this guy. And I'll tell you what, it's only his first game. Time will tell from him. I mean, he may need a year to bed in, just like our Joe Linton. So we'll see what happens. For what we've seen today, I think he's got a lot of work in the Premier League. I've been wondering if these how out people are trials. I don't know a single fan who wants Eddie out. Not one. That's in just way. But, well, I think whoever it is, I'm sorry, not good enough. I just started watching your post-match video, Peter. Then this one live started. Did you get a song Oot or Archer?
No, not this time, because of how poor the performance was. He said he couldn't think of it.
Yeah, good, fair enough. Jacob, they need to start performing. It's just not happening for them. Look, Jacob Murphy, Ian, good enough. Get them going.
His final ball is dreadful. Fraser's last end product has been dreadful as well.
Yesterday, if you look yesterday, the way Murphy was getting when he was getting into positions, he was getting in everybody else's way. He was more of a hindrance than he was a player.
I agree. He ain't good enough. I'm sorry, but Eddie needs to know now. He has to understand, right, that Jacob Murphy is not good enough. Simple as that. And got one from Ken. Hi, John, lads. Now, don't get us wrong. I'm not a get Eddie out person. Love the guy, but one tiny little criticism. Eddie and keeps his mates. Eddie and keeping his mates, Richie, fiercer, and a forward who is never fit. That's very true. Ryan, not Ryan, Brad, hope you okay, mate. Eddie Howe. He's getting calling a lot of people on social media saying they don't want this guy gone, get Tuchel in. And some of these people are trolls, in my opinion. I think they need to get a reality check as well. And also, they need to understand where we were 14 years ago. I mean, look, do you think you should back off Eddie, or do you think he should count the job he's doing?
Yeah, they should, but I say we're always going to get people complaining. Like, don't get us wrong, it was a poor game yesterday, and we should have done better. But we're not going to be perfect every time, and we're not quite there yet as a in terms of having like a full firing squad. So, it got criticisms is due to some players, but Eddie's well aware of that, and he knows that wasn't good enough, and he'll do better. He'll definitely be looking to get them levels up, because like you said yesterday, the standard yesterday is nowhere near what we expect to be every week. So yeah, there's no need for people to get on his back. Look, he's done a great job so far, and it's only going to get better as time goes on. There's going to be odd games where we don't play particularly well and we struggle, and I think people forget as well. We're now playing games against some teams like Bournemouth where they're literally like we're facing them straight up like for like large portions of the game, because they're just sitting back in defence. We're getting loads of the ball and we're not used to that, so it's just a bit of a different thing to get used to. Eventually, unfortunately, when you've got a game like that, you need that bit of quality. You need a corner. You need something. You need something to take advantage of, and we didn't. So that's just how it was at the end of the day. And Bournemouth punished us off a counter attack. So it's not one of the best days, but yeah, we'll 100% behind Eddie, and everyone else should be.
Yeah, and you know what it is, Brad? I mean, at the end of the day, we have so much ball possession, right? That's another thing we'll talk about soon. We have so much ball possession, right? It's what we do with the ball at the end of the day. I mean, Bournemouth was asking the questions. So, you know what? We sit back. You come at us then. We're asking you the questions. Show us what you got, yeah? And Newcastle, especially in the second half, didn't show them now.
No.
They were just loving it.
Yeah, and you see some of the sort of the second half, we were doing the same, going through the motions every time, putting it out wide, a little pass, looking to that give and go out wide every time. It's too predictable. That's going to work on the odd times, but we need to mix it up a bit. And every corner, every cross is just like we get the ball, we flash it across the box. There's never any conviction behind it or any direction. It's just like we'll just fire it across and just see what happens. There's no sort of plan there, but that's just where we're at the minute. Unfortunately, the players in them positions aren't as creative as we probably like them to be. So that's just where we are at the minute. Murphy, and that's we've got also we've got the sort of players like Almiron as well, Fraser. They're not renowned for picking out perfect passes and crosses and everything like that. So I think that's sort of where we are at the minute. But no, it can become too predictable, and if we look to be playing out wide all the time, it was easy for Bournemouth to sort of to close us down and sort of bat off any attacks we were trying to put on them, and it just got a bit desperate towards the end. So you could see that we could have played for another 90 minutes and probably not scored from open play. So yeah, it was just one of the days.
Do you think Eddie Howe should change his tactics? Do you think he should mix up his tactics or play a 4-4-2? Play 4-4-2 at Bournemouth, right? 4-4-1-1. Do you think he should play a 4-4-2 maybe, or 4-4-1-1? Because the thing is, right, I mean, me and Tony saw this, right? A lot of people said Eddie Howe's being found out because he keeps playing the same formation 4-3-3. And all the opponents are going to look at that thinking, you know what? They only play one way, and that's a 4-3-3.
Yeah.
Do you think you should change that formation now and change it up, or would you just say stick it how it is?
I think it's maybe something that's worth a look at, but one problem we do have, we struggle to get our strikers into the game. I know people give Chris Wood a lot of stick, but large parts of the time he's been here, he's not really had many chances. Same with Isak yesterday. So we've got to, however we do it, we've got to find a way to get good quality balls into the striker, because a lot of the time you find that we're just standing there waiting for something to happen. There's not like a striker's not moving, or there's no movement onto the ball or getting on the end of a cross. It's all just stagnant at times. So it's very easy to defend against, and that's what we can be a bit predictable at sometimes. So I know I'm not necessarily saying completely change the tactics, but we just need to find that way of getting the striker in positions where they can move and get into space, and someone can find a delivery for them. I think that's our biggest issue at the minute, because in midfield we can win the ball back. Defensively we're okay. We can pass the ball. That's not a problem, but it's just that it's that final product we're missing.
Yeah, absolutely, totally agree. I mean, Isak can come good in time. Got every faith for this guy, but he needs to. I've seen the people saying that he's gonna struggle in the Premier League, sort of thing. I wish those people just shut up and give the guy a chance, man. Simple as that. Can't believe some of the fans called for Eddie Howe out. Have a minute. Lost 1-7. We have a lot of work to do. I agree. To make this squad better, Rome will stop building the in how we trust. Maybe some of our fickle fans would rather get behind the Forest project or the West Ham or Villa project as well. Our fans just very fickle last season. 14 games, 2 points, no wins. So we're already ahead of last season, for God's sake. When Maxi Wilson comes back, we'll be much stronger and the wins will come. Absolutely. Go on.
I go back to what Brad's saying as well. And, if you look yesterday, Brad, we were too slow in that game. We were too pedestrian. We should have, if we'd quickened that game up, we would have won that game comfortably, without a doubt. And, and when you're saying about Woody doesn't get a lot of chances, I mean, you see that goal against Southampton, that's a type of service that Wood thrives on. That Shelby ball, that cross that he put in, and Wood's header, that's the sort of things he thrives on. But we don't seem to have anybody who can put that cross apart from Trippier. Is the only one. But he can't do it all himself, Trippier. He can't do the defending and be up the right wing to put crosses in all the time, Yeah. And Almiron, as much as he's good for his work rate, he's just the end product's not there from him. And Ryan Fraser.
Exactly.
And then that shot yesterday from Fraser when he whipped it from like 20 yards out. The thing is, if he'd curled it a bit more towards the post, he would have probably had a chance to score. But he put it right down the keeper. It was too comfortable for the goalkeeper to save it, really.
Yeah, and you got like Almiron in certain positions. The fact that he doesn't want to use his right foot, he's just turning back again. So he can get in a pretty good position. You're thinking, right, take on a man, put something in the box, but he won't do it because he wants to come back inside. He's turning back in himself and just recycling the ball again, and that's in a fairly good position. And then the chance is gone, then, and you're just starting again. And it's just, I think I do like Miggy as a player. And I think although the end product's not there, obviously, but he doesn't help it. The fact that he's just so one-footed, it's frustrating to see, because someone else in that position, they're going to be getting the ball, looking to take it out wide, put a cross in, get the game, keep it moving. But unfortunately, because he can't use his right foot, he's always relying on having to put himself back onto his left.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Instead of Murphy coming on yesterday, we probably could have preferred Richie coming on, because I know Richie's getting on a bit now. He's 32, coming with 33, but if you look at Richie, he can still put a decent cross in the box, and that's what we were crying out for. It wouldn't hurt to give him the, taking Almiron off and putting Richie on in his place for the 20 minutes, because you might have had a chance of creating something. Isak might have got on something.
The two, the crosses tend to be a bit too floaty as well. Yesterday, there's nothing I can't remember seeing in the game where we flashed the ball across the box with any real quality. It's always just too easy for you're floating the ball up. You make the goalkeeper's favourite for that every single time. You put it up in the air, he's always going to come and claim it. So that was also frustrating to see, because you're not going to get much out of crosses like that. They need to be first time, quick, with a bit of pace on them, and you've got to rely on the quality of your strikers to be able to do something with that. But if not, you're giving the goalkeeper the advantage, and the centre backs are just prepared, and it's easy. It's relatively easy to defend against. So we've got to be a bit more proactive and sort of take the game with them in that sense. But I know it's difficult because they were defending with a flat back five for a lot of the game. So you know, that's all. It's always going to be difficult doing that, but that just makes it all the more important that when you do get in chances, you've got to make sure that the good balls in.
Exactly.
See, when you saw Isak yesterday, when he was in the box and he tried to cross that ball, he wanted to put it across the floor, and obviously the defender got it. He just flung his arms in the air as if to say, "Well, where are you? Where's my support?" He's getting frustrated. So because there's nobody following him up in the box. And, obviously it was only Bruno's first game back. So I think it was right that he come off after 70 minutes, and probably fatigue was kicking in by then. And now he's got 2 weeks off. So, well, he's going with the Brazil squad, I would imagine. But whether he plays much for them, I don't know. But he may get a bit of match fitness from then. But hopefully after the international break, at least hopefully Maxi will be back. Not sure about Wilson. He might still be a week or two, a few weeks away, but we don't know. We'll just have to wait and see, I suppose.
Yeah, we have to see what happens on that one, guys. It's just 2 weeks of sun and save it. It's a blessing as well. So if we get ASM back, we need him yesterday. We need him back. Otherwise, where's the creator's going to come from? I don't know. Paqueta lost the ball several times today. Tried to hold on to it too long, and you don't get as much time on the ball in this league. Billy said to beat Todibo, sent off the least after 9 seconds. It's some achievement.
I heard about that, actually.
Wow. 9 seconds.
And in that game, John, one of our ex-loan players scored the winner for Angers.
Who's that?
Nabil Bentaleb.
Yeah.
Remember him?
Yeah.
He was crap, wasn't he, when he was with us? When he was absolutely shocking.
And then Steve was trying to get him back for the new season
Yeah.
as well. Jesus Christ, man. Jesus Christ, I'm a flipping bag. You know what I mean? It's a joke.
He plays for Angers now, but he scored the winner.
My God. He's good for Spurs, by the way, man. I'm not going to lie. He is out for Spurs. Declan Rice, overrated. Our new revitalized Jason's way better than him. I'm off to work. Sefton, watch about later on yet, and don't forget the like button. One criticism for Eddie yesterday is why didn't he sort of free us up at everyone's sides, so both sides would have allowed quicker balls into the box.
That's a good point there. That's actually a good point because Miggy just doesn't have a right foot. He just doesn't have a right foot, and he's chopping and changing on that right-hand side. I don't think that's a bad idea to do that. And I think Fraser has actually played well on the right-hand side, particularly a lot last season when he linked up with Trippier. Yeah. So I don't think that's a bad idea to put them on the other side.
Mm-hmm. And change it up a bit as well, because we're too predictable in a minute. Big up to Ryan, by the way. I don't care if these players weren't linked or not. We've missed out on these wingers. They were available this summer. Sinistera, Azodoy, Pulisic, Cornet, and Werner were paying the price for it now. Do you know what it is, Tony? I have to agree with Ryan, by the way, because they were available in the summer. If we put the money up, they would have got one of those players over the line. But at the end of the day, they didn't want to pay the money. And now we've kind of paid the price for it because I said at a time, I think it was before the season started, we cannot afford to play players like Richie, especially Murphy, Sean Longstaff, Dummett. We cannot have these players going into these seasons. And now, like Ryan said, we're paying the price.
Yeah, John, I mean, we should have gone in and got one of these players. I mean, the DRB, we were trying to get down the price on that. I think for the sake of 10 million, why didn't we just go in and do it, And not only that, I mean, the likes, we could have probably pushed and gotten Pulisic on loan or any of those players, but we just didn't seem to go in for them. I don't know if we were ever in for Sinistera, probably not. But he looks a good player, from what I've seen a few games for Leeds. But we've been crying out for that right winger. That's all we were kept on saying right up until the end of the window. We need the right winger. We need a right winger. If we'd got Maddison, then he can play a right wing and and centre mid. So you've got everything there with Maddison. And now we've got to deal. We've got to get on with what we've got now at the club until the window opens again in January, when hopefully we can go in and try and get Maddison and maybe Tielemans as well, and see what happens from there. As long as Maddison don't sign a new deal, that should be good news for us, because Leicester look an awful team. They look terrible.
Look all over the place. I seen bits of them yesterday, and my God, it was just embarrassing to watch for them.
And if they're still in that bottom three in January, there's no way Madison will want to stay.
I think the pair of them won out anyway. Madison and Tielemans, I think they won out. And them two scored yesterday as well.
Yeah, because Arsenal are waiting until next summer for Tielemans, but we're tempted to go with the £17 million bid apparently in January. And I think Leicester would probably take that, because it's either that or they're losing for nothing. So, it's up to them at the end of the day. But they could have had 25 million for him at the end of the transfer window. So, that just losing money on him in that, no wonder they're in the position that they're in. And that new defender looks absolutely shambolic for them. That I don't, without phase or whatever you call him, because don't look that great. You may think he's got the hair of Colaccini, but he's never any good as Colaccini.
Nowhere near. Nowhere near. If Vincenzo's watching this, mate, don't lose any sleep back in Argentina, mate. You're not going to lose any sleep on that anyway. We got Miss Tangi's comments, buddy. He said, credit to Bournemouth, they came what they came for. We tried. That's all that matters. 73% possession, 20 shots on goal. It's just a frustrating day. You get these games unless the fickle lot will see Bruce Ball back. We have another transfer window coming up and a World Cup. Hopefully, we can get some more attacking options by then. Players have to fit the mold in our club. Ian, we need them. We need them again, mate. We need it. Big style. Fox saying that Ryan says, Dara, what's the guy for us even back in Jan? Leeds got an absolute bargain then. 22 million quid. Wow. Short memories of Fanbase ads. Yep. Some of them. Fraser Leg is gone. Richie's past it. Wilson's always injured. Murray's just crap. We'd love to speak to Eddie, ask him what he sees in these players. Should have been gone in the summer. But the trouble is, they're on big wages. And
that's the problem on big wages, and it's hard to get them off them.
80 grand a week. He's on Pete. Fraser's on 80 grand a week, I believe.
I mean, but Murphy, he's on a big wages, as well. Richie, Dummett, they'll be on round about the 50 mark, or even more as well. They're players that needed to be gone.
Yeah, exactly. But the trouble is, though, they don't want to leave because they're just say,
they're just happy to pick up the wages at the end of the week.
You took yours on me, God, Peter. You're absolutely right, mate. Absolutely right. All Liverpool, Man City has beaten us in 2022. I remember this. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Everton and Chelsea as well, by the way. We talk about the beginning of 22. Yeah, I get you, Tange. I get you, mate. I don't know what people expect with how. All the criticisms I have, he should have changed formation when they got still in that game. I would have gone 4-4-2 or 3 at back to maximise as much up top. Yeah, Ryan, again, you are.
Is that? Sorry, John. As I said yesterday, and I know people might not thought it was popular. People might agree with me, so might Brad to an extent. He should have changed formation yesterday, say maybe done a 4-4-2 and played Chris Wood up alongside Isak, because this is a type of game that Wood would have thrived on if there was any crosses or anything coming in, because he would have battled with that keeper. He would have battled with their centre-halves. That's the difference, because Wood's a target man, and some defenders don't like playing against him because he ruffles a few feathers. And, maybe that could have been the option yesterday, and I don't know. I don't know what you think, Peter or Brad.
I don't think that's actually a bad show, actually. I've got to admit, I don't really don't think it is. I think, Wood does thrive on crosses in the box. So, not a bad idea.
Could have knocked down for Isak, couldn't he, or anybody?
Yeah, we're going to have to, especially when we're gonna start playing against a lot of games like that, where, especially at home, when teams are just going to try and sit back and hit us, we're going to have to find a way to try and break these teams down. And unfortunately, it's probably going to have to be the quality of the balls coming into the box and being a bit more dominant in them sort of areas and making something happen, or if it's off corners or something like that where we can take advantage, because it's going to be, we're going to have a lot of the ball, but teams are just going to stand off us. So it's going to be going to be difficult. So, but that's probably why we play. Well, I know it's why we play better against the better teams, because we can express ourselves a bit more, and there's a bit more space, and it just feels a bit more like the just play with a bit more freedom. So, but unfortunately, if we're going to be breaking into the top 8 and stuff, we've got to be picking up wins against the lower teams, because we can play well against Liverpool, play well against Man City, but we're not winning. Chances are we're not going to be winning them games. But games like yesterday and the game against Palace, arguably we should be winning, or at least one of them. So, it's disappointing. So we're gonna have to find a way to come up in these difficult games against defensive sides, and maybe 2 at the top is the answer to that. But I know, trust Eddie to sort of give that a trial and see how it goes.
Yeah, that's a fair shout, Brad. That's a fair shout. And yeah, you're right. Let's have a look at this one here. But given time, be patient, be respectful. This man transformed this philosophy, and if I pronounce that word right, Richard said click the like button, also hit the subscribe button as well if you enjoyed the video, like what you see. And if you'd like to super chat us as well, click on the $sign. If you'd like to become a member, it's 99p. That's all it is. And do follow Tony 31, PD Proudlock, and BP_NUFC as well. So, and let's go on to this one. Anderson was injured yesterday, Ian. Yes, he was. And a knock. When they come up against low block inverted wingers, the answers at times that's Orion. The thing is, it's pretty hilarious. It's Paqueta Johnson at the club, and all of a sudden the stereotype changes to Paqueta isn't good. However, Jordan dispossessed more yesterday than Paqueta today. Yeah, I've noticed that as well. ASM Wilson will be back soon, and this Bournemouth frustration will be forgotten about, just like the fickle lot who have short memories. That's in Tandy. Shelby will be back before New Year. Then we can add a few in January for the remaining 20-plus games. Yes, 20-plus games. Madison was best on the pitch yesterday until Son came on. Hopefully, we'll go back for him in January. This is the thing. If Madison was playing yesterday for us, Pete, we would have won that game yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, he brings so much quality to the side. He's still a very young lad as well, and he's proven in this league as well. And he really wants, I think he really wants to move away from Leicester now. And a player like him would have been great for us yesterday, because he would have brought so much quality to the side.
Absolutely, absolutely. People question Howe's ability with 200 million need to look at themselves in the mirror. Clearly, that amount of money spent isn't enough. When you have crap like Richie, Fias, and Murphy coming on, again, Ryan, I agree there. We need to beef up the subs bench. We need to beef them up in January. We look at it, right? I mean, like Tony said earlier on, Howland got subbed, always comes on, scored twice. Son came on yesterday, scored a 13-minute hat-trick, yeah? We haven't got no one of that at all whatsoever. It's just a disgrace, you know what I mean? And those players have been at the club for whatever, 6, 7, 8 years, right? And they haven't improved one iota. We need to get them out right away. If you don't, ASM, if you don't have him for the Fulham, I change formation to 4-3-3 is meant to players like him. That's Ryan again. My only criticism of how really is the time he brings on subs to change the game. That's the thing. He brings them quite late. I've noticed that as well. The question, John, name me one game since he's came where Wood has battled with or got a better of defenders. To be honest with you, I can't remember. I really cannot remember. You know what I mean? And it was Ari against Southampton. And I just can't remember, mate. I just don't think he's good enough. I'm sorry, but I'm sounding like Lee Goddard. He ain't good enough. And we have lost 6 games in 2022. That's incredible for us when you consider we had Chris Wood starting in 5 of those games. That's in Jackie B. Look, I mean, again, he ain't the answer. Is Chris Wood totally going to get us into the Champions League top 4? Is he going to get us into Europe? Is he going to win us a trophy? For me, he won't.
No, not at all, John. But I just thought, if we wanted to change formation against the likes of Bournemouth, you could have thrown him on and played him either from the start or even threw him on just after half time and said, look, we'll change it, yeah. Because a lot of them players didn't have great games yesterday. Willick was poor. I
thought we panicked a lot.
Yeah, Joe Linton didn't have the greatest of games. One of the shots that Shaw hit off the defender and went out for a corner. I was just glad when Isak put that penalty away, because I was sitting there watching it at home, John, and I'm thinking, right, if this doesn't, there was one feeling I had. I thought, this keeper the way he's played today, he's going to save this penalty. I can see it coming off. Well, thankfully, Isak, given the disguised him and sent him the wrong way. But yeah, great penalty though, by the way. You know, he constantly took the ball off Trippier as well and said, I'm taking it.
Well, at the end of the day, Sophie, I love players that's got a bit of confidence, by the way, and he's exactly got that, by the way. He will come good, right? And people are saying, I've heard in social media saying that he's going to struggle in the Premier League if he doesn't fix up very, very soon. But listen, this is what, third game? And people are doubting him already. He'll beef up.
Thing is, John, right? And yeah, this is for everybody, right? Okay. When Wilson's back, if him and Wilson are playing and Newcastle get a penalty, who takes it? Isak or Wilson? Because, you know, that's a hard one to decide, isn't it? Because Wilson is the allocated penalty taker, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah. He will. I think Wilson got back to penalty duties, by the way. Coming back January, where do you think we'll be in the table? Surely this will impact the caliber of player we attract. We're going to have to find out in January for that one. Let's say in a minute. Until we get the players come through in January, then we have a good idea where we will end up finishing. As things stand, we'll not be top 10 at the minute. Not with this team. And Premier League screwed us over with 3 tough away games in a week in March. Wow. January window, we need at least 5 players to improve first team on the bench. To be fair, to be honest, I don't want to see Wood in a black and white shirt again. It's poor try. Wow.
He is.
He is.
We just got to do with what the best we've got at the moment. That's the problem, John. Yeah. That's why I said to you last night, even if we'd brought him in the summer, Ben Burton Diaz for 10, 15 million from Blackburn, he could have been a bench player, but he could have been somebody who could have come on and probably made a difference, you know, because like I said, he can play right wing, left wing and up front. And he played mostly on the left last season for Blackburn, got 22 goals. He's already popped 4 goals in 10 games this season. So, you know, he would have been the type of player to bring on, and at least he's a bit more mobile than what Wood is. I don't know what the other guys think of that as well.
Pete?
What was it again? Sorry.
Brereton Diaz. If we had brought him in from Blackburn for about 10, 15 million, he could have been a bench player, but at least he would have been an option to bring off the bench.
Yeah, I think I definitely agree with that, because Chris Wood is he's just not cutting it, is he? That's the problem.
He's not the answer, and he's not the answer at all. Not just being off the bench, John. It's about upgrading the 11 and making those former players become the bench players. I.e., Brian Botman put Burns on the bench. I don't get that yesterday. Why Botman didn't play yesterday, Brad. I didn't get that at all.
I was a bit baffled with that as well.
Badly missed it. Badly missed him yesterday.
Somebody said he had a niggle, but I don't know. Is that true?
But he was on the bench, though. That was the thing. And Burns at fault for their goal.
Absolutely.
Look at the space between Billing and Burn. It's unbelievable. If Botman's on the start, I think he's tight with Billing.
Yeah,
it was
absolutely. That is incredible. Poor defending. Our best starting 11, top 8 team squad-wise changed to below 10. That's why I wanted us improving the squad in different positions instead of overpaying behind Isak. Without ASM, Wilson expects these results. Wow. And probably with a tough game. If you draw again, it wouldn't be a disaster. It's full on great defensively, but they can score goals. Exactly. Not good defense, but they can score goals. Big up to Chink, by the way. Hope you're around, mate. The point I was making, Tony, said Wood were battle defenders. Sorry, Tony, but that statement is absolutely Ross. That's and Ken. Wow. Okay. I done Tony and panel. Bad at the office yesterday. We grew again against Full Nass and Dunhill. I hope he enjoyed the game yesterday and win my ticket as well. John Moore, I'm a Leeds fan. I think under Howe, you are progressing well better than City under Hughes. It's going to take time, guys. Relax. That's from John. Amanda just did an interview on Magpie TV. She just wants the improvement on how we play. But TalkSports, Alice Quick said, PIF are watching and they're not happy with our start. That's from Rat. Very interesting, Tony. Very interesting comment from Rat there.
That is interesting.
Very.
PIF, I said to you before the start of the season, John, the way we are buying players in, it wouldn't surprise me if PIF want us in Europe this season. You know, the thing is with the Saudis is they don't like being second fiddle. That's the thing. They like success and they want it quick. They don't want success taken 2 years down the lane or 3 years. If they think us getting into Europe this season is successful, they'll want it this season. If PIF are not happy with the start, who knows? We don't know. That could just be Alex Crook just saying that. Yasser hasn't come out and said anything. He's our chairman, so he hasn't actually come out and said, "Oh, by the way, we're not happy" or anything. If Amanda Staveley's done her interview and Magpie's TV and said, "Look, she wants to see improvement of play," maybe there's some talk. Maybe they're having a talk with Eddie Howe and just saying, "Look, is there any way we can play better than this?" Because so only time will tell. But there's no reason for anybody to panic or pull the trigger at the minute. There's nothing wrong. We've only lost one game. Yes, we've won one, drew 5, lost 1. Do you know what? Who cares? We're 10th place in the Premier League. Could be worse. We could be, we could be at the bottom end where Leicester or Forest are. It's good to see Lee Connolly's doing a great job at Nottingham Forest because look, we are second bottom. and that's my point, John. This is my point. That's why I said to you that Marinakis, who owns Nottingham Forest, he thinks he's playing FIFA 22. But I'm sorry, this is real life. It's not a computer game. It's real life you're playing. And I still stand by what I said to you last night, John. If Cooper gets the sack, it wouldn't surprise me if he went down the road and said to Pochettino, "I'll give you this amount of money to come and keep the club in the Premier League," because that's the way he'll just throw his money about. He won't care, John. And bearing in mind, I think the next game it's Nottingham Forest and Leicester, so that'll be interesting.
I tell you what, Lord, that's a Saka goal. A Saka goal. That's what I'm going to say. A Saka goal.
I hope that's on TV because that'll be a good watch.
Definitely. I'll watch along for that one, maybe. So you never know.
Yeah.
Amanda just did an interview on Magpie TV. She just wants to
read that one, John.
You just read that, yeah.
Thanks, man. Sorry. Unpopular opinion, Matt Target needs to be less competent in the team. Otherwise, I'll bring Lewis back. That's from Ryan.
I think Target had one of his best games as well.
Nah, I didn't think so. But going back to Alice Cook, right? He did say that Eddie Howe could be in a bit of pressure. He said if he didn't beat Bournemouth, he could be under pressure. That's what Alice Cook said yesterday. But listen, I know he's a good guy, but I'm not going to listen to that at all whatsoever. He's got an opinion, cool. But don't mean I'm going to believe Alex, by the way. And Diaz will be a great buy. We've been screwed over so many times by officials this season. I think the frustrations of what happened yesterday is a reflection of how well we played all season 35. Tangi, a few times in the game, we backed off Bournemouth. Well, exactly. We didn't use the short corners yesterday. At least Newcastle are not losing. But after the game against City, these players were not up for the game against Bournemouth. That is the thing. You've got to be up for the games every single week. You've got to perform. If you don't perform, you get dropped. Simple as that. Sorry, our best 11, not a top 8 squad, maybe top 10, but our wingers are shite, apart from Seant. So until we trace a few wingers and CDM, we are not going to create goals. Trippier had to do Miggy's job as well, and that's embarrassing. And we've got my favourite podcast in the chat, bigger to Macy. She's a big red, by the way. And Macy is fine. We love her lots, by the way. Interesting, but you can't trust anything out of TalkSport. They're usually full of shite. That's a man. So thanks, John. Enjoy yesterday despite the performance. I got my photo over Beardsley. Big up to Daniel, man. If I was there, I would have got a photo as well, by the way. Due to the success of the end of last season, I have expectations of arrears, but you're still an 8 to 10 place club. And someone on Paul's channel said to get Tuchel in yesterday, absolute clown, unbelievable, Brad.
Yeah, I'll stick with what we've got for now. No chance of no chance of it. No chance of any change, I don't think, in the near future. So
it's ridiculous, isn't it?
He's taking a break from football anyway, isn't he? After he's sacking from Chelsea, so he doesn't want to go straight back into management.
Unbelievable. Crazy.
Didn't last long at PSG though, John. Did he really, Tuchel? So is it surprising he didn't last long at Chelsea either?
Exactly.
He was 20 months at Chelsea, and I don't know how long he was at PSG, but he weren't there that long.
I think he was there for 2 seasons and a bit. But he had an argument with the owners as well, and it's a kicked him out. Could you imagine Tuchel come to Newcastle, right, and argue with our owners? I tell you something, you will not last long, I'm telling you. They will not put up with it at all whatsoever. I can tell you that right away. No chance. I just wonder if he'll get into that top job somewhere, John, because will clubs want to take him on? That's the thing, Pretty much doubt it. Because often it's set up in the managers in the minutes. Like, I mean, Leipzig was available at the time. I don't know if that's still available now, but I think that decision's gone. But we'll see what happens in this next move. I'm surprised some of our fan base wants Eddie Howe gone. Well, matey, some of our fan base are absolute muppets, absolute wet wipes. And I mean wet wipes. You know what I mean? I'm going to say that. I do say no to Tuchel. If all of us are not happy with our start, maybe they should get their lawyers to investigate the corrupt Premier League and officials. Fair enough. The only way Newcastle get better sponsors TV revenue is to get in Europe, and I can see why PIF want it so bad. We're going to get a new sponsor next season, Pete, I think, hopefully. If we do get a new sponsorship, then the sky's the limit.
Absolutely, yeah. And what's Ryan saying? I couldn't hear any Eddie out chance now.
It's just social media, Lark. Do you know what I mean? On social media. Because I tell you what, I'm not being funny, but at the end of the day, if someone come to us in the stand and said, Eddie Howe needs to go, I tell you what, I have my sound that as well, sort of thing. It will not be pretty. Let me tell you that. Go on, Tony.
I don't think that boom was towards Eddie Howe yesterday. I think it was against the team because the fans were just frustrated at us drawing against Bournemouth. And, at the end of the day, they're paying punters. They're entitled to their opinions. And, I still don't think it was all Eddie Howe. I think it was just mainly the team in general. Like, we're not happy. We should be beating teams like Bournemouth. And, so you can sort of see that point. Still a bit disappointing that we're booing the team, but considering how far we've actually come on, from last season to this season. So it's not all doom and gloom, we've just got to get things right on the pitch. That's all. And, let's see what happens. And that in that big game, John, that 6-pointer, that it's at Leicester's ground as well. It's on the 3rd of October on a Monday night. So that'll be an interesting game, Leicester Forest.
Looking forward to that game as well. I'm going to watch it as well, sort of, because I think it's going to be a cracking game. There'll be goals in it, but for me personally, I think Leicester are just on that. I think Leicester get the first win of the season in that game. I really do. Unfortunately, every team's playing second, third, fourth, and so on fiddle to Man City. And be careful with the media, by the way, everyone. They could be creating many narratives still up our hornet's nest trying to land Howe for the England job. Listen, he's going nowhere. Manson's hoping we come to his rescue in January. That's in Jackie B. Leaving Botman out is just baffling, certainly baffling. I was scratching my heat on it so much. Some Dan Truffell, Utas and Chris. Wow. You do look at a lot of teams playing well now, but how we're getting going. We just need to survive till the next window. That's from Paul. If Fulham beats us after the break, God help us after we've got 2 weeks to block Mitrovic. Listen, that's even better thinking, mate. Hi, folks. Hope as well. Give Eddie time. Thank you very much indeed, Darren. You're absolutely right. Can't stand Tuchel. Please never. Tuchel, it's not as good as FIFA fan mode. He has no money, time and good squad and done now. So he got Chelsea to win the Champions League, by the way, when he came off, took off from Lampard. Big up to I Like Coffee. Hope you're okay. Just as his perspective, we are 10th and not playing 100%. Some of the gloomers think already to get relegated. Well, if they think they get relegated, again, they're a bunch of wet wipes, a lot of them. I think Eddie is the man for the job. People have short memories, they forget where we were this time last season. Pablo, you're correct. Fans wants Eddie Howe gone. I want Murphy gone instead. That just sums it up, Tony.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. I mean, I want Murphy out of the club, I'd rather have Eddie Murphy than Jacob Murphy, if I'm honest. At least he'd bring a bit more excitement to the team with his comedy. But yeah, no, Murphy's just useless. That's why I said to you yesterday in my rating for Murphy, when you gave me Murphy, I said, if I could give him a minus, I would, but I give him a 0.
0.
0.
I gave Sean Lonsdale a 0 and Murphy a 0 on Peter's channel, by the way. And you know what? I just says it how it is. Do you know what I mean? If people don't agree with us, they can cry. Cry some more. Don't care. I don't care. If PIF wants quick success, that requires quick cash smash into transfers, and we need to be careful with FFP base on last season's team performance. I think 2 to 3 good signings should be enough for 7. Yeah, I see what you mean, Schenk. I see what you mean. It wasn't how like chanting on the ground, just booing. I think it's just on social media, Tom Mace. That's what I'm seeing. There's just a few arseholes spitting the dummy suit. Correct. How will survive this season, but pressure will be on for improving in league placings. Brad, I mean, according to John, what he just said there, right? If we don't get in Europe this season, do you think Eddie Howe's going to be under huge pressure next season? Do you think he's going to be a massive pressure?
No, I don't think so. As long as they're not far behind, I don't think so, no. It all depends what the feeling is sort of towards the end of the season. If we feel like the majority of us are going to know whether we've had a good season or we've had a bad one. I don't think we're expected to get into Europe, but if we're fighting somewhere near, then yeah, definitely going to get more time. But if we're really struggling, then obviously it's a different story. But I don't think we'll be in that position. So we're just going to be building as strongly as we can, and then hopefully put ourselves in the best position to really push for it the season after. And then by then we've really got to start being like in them sort of in the realms of top 8 for definite.
Exactly. Cool. No one want Eddie gone, but it's results business. You judge on results. So as Pardew is the standard so far of the best manager since Bobby Robson in success. Until he passes Pardew's achievements. Remember, John, Pardew took us to a European run. And so until Dropper smashed us in the top 5. Tony, what do you think of that comment?
I mean, yeah, he did well getting to the to get him into Europe, Pardew under our former owner. But the problem was, John, as good as the season that was when we finished 5th, that was Mike Ashley's cue in that summer to say, right, let's get some more quality in here, build the squad up, and then push on for the next season. But he didn't do that, and obviously he didn't invest in the squad. And then you're playing Thursday, Sunday, and when you try to use this, and we were struggling in that season because we were near the bottom of the table. I think Pardew was on the way to being sacked until Palace come in and said, "Oh, we want Pardew as manager." So obviously, Mike Ashley thought, "Oh, a few more pennies in the back pocket there." So yeah, he did well to get us to Europe, but we done nothing after that. Because, like I say, Ashley didn't invest in the squad. So, you know, where had he invested in the squad, who knows? We could have finished in the top. Who knows where we would have finished, you know? But he never invested, never had any intention of investing in that team. And if somebody come in for players, he would sell them anyway. So, you know, like he done with Sissoko, Kabai, you know, got big money for them. So, yeah, he just, you know, he done the same with Andy Carroll, didn't he? Got rid of him last day of the window, so we didn't have to buy anybody in. You know, that was his plan all along. He used to always do that, didn't he? Sell players just near the end of the window, so we didn't have time to bring players in. But them days are gone now, John. So we, you know, the future's bright now. We've got to forget about him. Forget about what he's done. Yes, we're always going to be remembered for them 14 years where we were stagnated, really. But you know, it's onwards and upwards now, and you know, we're looking up rather than down now, John. The R word doesn't even come into any consideration or conversation.
Well said. Totally agree. Absolutely right. Our mid-table would be the worst position. Top 6 would be fantastic. Howe should be under any type of pressure, but the dear, he does get the sack. Fans will be upset about it, so would I. Sometimes managers get sacked unfairly, just the nature of the business. Last and Foxy. Even the best managers have bad results, so that goes against them. And 7 defeats, 7 games, and 1 defeat against Liverpool. If we go on and run a 3 or 4 wins, we'll look great. Yes, we will. If we play like that against Fulham, like we did yesterday, I could see them give us a hiding. Whoosh, that's Mansell, by the way. This is our fastest player on go-karting. Well, I don't think he's that good.
Go-kart.
No.
Yeah.
So how's it going, guys? Obviously fine. And going to Foxy. Next match, Sat Allegri here at first. Will not be surprised at all whatsoever. They got beat today off Monza by 4-0. And Michel Angel Di Maria, remember him? United? Sent off before half-time. And Liverpool fans were looking for Klopp to be sacked. Premier League managers on a hiding to note. Yep, it's true. 8 games before the World Cup, 5 wins, 3 draws, and we beat Palace in the Cup. I hope you're correct, mate. I hope you're correct. Never built on that season. I agree. Hit the button, like buttons. Thank you very much. I'm always saying, Tony, people rate managers, but none have surpassed Pardew, and that's saying something because he was a clown.
Yeah, he was. I mean, when he headbutted David Meyler, he should have, Ashley should have sacked him, and and he wouldn't have had to pay him compensation because it would have been gross misconduct because, there was no need for Pardew to get involved. All he was doing was trying to get the ball for a throw-in. But Pardew thought he was trying to be clever and then give him a headbutt as well. And rightly so, got banned for it. But, that's the only problem with Mike Ashley. He should have sacked him. But then, obviously, Ashley kept him on and waited for the money coming in from Crystal Palace.
Absolutely right. I mean, look, I have to agree there because, he's a Palace fan, by the way. So, I mean, Ashley was on holiday. He made no attempt to keep Alan Pardew's sort of thing. He just said, look, they want to go. And Pardew did exactly that and got his dream job, which didn't work out well for him, I'm afraid. But hey-ho. But, we got some more comments flying in as well. And got one for Daniil. Nice to meet you, P.I. yesterday. You met Daniil yesterday.
Daniil. Hi, Daniil was up, hi.
Yeah, did you do an interview? Did you do the interview yesterday?
He actually didn't come on. I don't think he came around after full time.
Fair enough. Cool. And got that as well. Honestly, I don't rate Isak, but he's what we've got. But with the biggest problem, not playing it along the floor. Cross the room, get us scores. You kept it with wingers. Must get Derby and the Ukrainian lad, which Tony spoke about before. The thing is, we need wingers. We do need wingers. I mean, we need competition for ASM. We definitely need a right side of winger as well. Because for me, I'm sorry, Foxy, but is Miguel Almiron going to be the answer, Brad? Do you think he's the answer now for Newcastle? Everyone's picking up this year. He's been in the pre-season, but what we saw of him, he's just the same.
Yeah, it's looking that way. Just unfortunately, it's sometimes, like I said before, that they use it. It's getting on that left. Wow. It's the insistence of getting on the left foot that sometimes is a bit of a hindrance, and it just lets down his game really because it's quite solid. The movement's generally okay. He's decent enough on the ball. It's just that I just don't think he's got that final product that we'll need, unfortunately.
What about you, Tony, with Almiron? Are you going to stick with him, or would you say you've got to get a winger in January for this to keep on squad player?
We've got to get a winger in, John. We need a winger. We're crying out for that quality at the end of it, the crossing, and Almiron doesn't seem to have that, does he? And for all he runs and everything, and but he was on fire in pre-season. That's what I can't understand. But this season started now, and he's just doesn't seem to be cutting it really. So I think we've got to go all out for Diaby in January. Let's hope he doesn't play much in the World Cup, because if he plays a lot in the World Cup and then has a great World Cup, unfortunately the price is going to shoot right up then, isn't it? So let's hope he has a crap World Cup, John, or he doesn't play. Yeah, and he's only a bit part player. So and then hopefully his price won't go too high. And the Ukrainian lad that we spoke about the other night, John, Mudryk, he looks class. I mean, he's 21, left winger, 2 games in the Champions League, 2 goals, 2 assists, and that's from a 21-year-old left winger. He's only going to get better. Brentford were knocked back for £21 million bid in the summer for him. I think they're wanting more like 40 million for him from Shakhtar Donetsk, but certainly not a bad shout, and fits the mould of the club as well. 21, young player, same as Diaby. He's a young lad, 22. So yeah, fits the bill.
Absolutely. We'd go get someone in January, 100%. What does my cash in ABBA have in common? Money, money, money. Lads, how do you rate Chris Wood? It's a brilliant one, that, like. That's brilliant. That was fantastic. Wow. Lads, how do you rate Chris Wood? I think he's shite, personally. I don't think he's good enough for Newcastle United. And he is terrible, isn't he? 25 million we paid for this guy as well. Unbelievable.
He was a panic buy, definitely, because we needed a striker.
100%. I don't care what people say. It was say, to play Burnley. No, it wasn't. It's a panic buy. People say we needed a striker in. We needed him straight. That's what we got. Chris Wood was better with strikers than Chris Wood as well, by the way. But there you go. I don't remember Angel Di Maria played for us, John. I said United. Man United. We need wingers who are cut inside and run at goal, work the ball into the box. Watch Arsenal today. They looked for through balls over the top and smashed Brentford. We need to be mobile.
Oh, Arsenal were fantastic today.
Beautiful. Absolutely.
Oh, that goal from Vieira was an absolute corker as well.
Class, wasn't it? Beautiful goal for Vieira. Wow. This season's going to throw more. This season, the league has thrown up some surprises so far. None of the big teams has been tested yet either. The league table is very, very tight. I agree. I do like the look of that Diaby for Leverkusen, lightning speed. That's what we need to get. Miggy worked hard yesterday, but he usually does. Unfortunately, there's no end product. Mason, bigger teammate. I think we should have won if it was a Neto with the saves he made yesterday. Yeah, quality saves he did as well. Go watch any top European team that counter press and work for the ball, for runs, and to get behind the defence and score. The ball post was around the match for Bournemouth yesterday. Yeah, inverted winners can work perfect, but your wingers have to be able to use both feet, unlike Miggy. He is just so one-footed, Pete. So one-footed.
Absolutely. When you see him get in this position, you just know what to cross it on. Try your right foot. Just give it a try. Because you keep chopping and changing, the chances it's the link up play, it's gone.
Absolutely. It's so frustrating, like, you know what I mean? I mean, look, I'm not going to tap it out just yet, but he needs to fix up very quick. He needs to fix up.
Yep.
And enjoy the live chat, and as there's in there is sense in what you're all seeing, Newcastle fans are deserving 100% effort from the players, and that's what we want. Exactly. Thank you so much for that, John. Him and Sensi were quality yesterday. I don't know how Bournemouth signed those two. Yeah, I told her and met them well, defended really well. And Mudwick, good player, but it's funny hearing criticism of Miggy when Mudwick himself scored 2 in 19 last season, Ukraine. Scores 2 goals in Champions League this season. All of a sudden, it's end product. Wow, what about that, Tony? You bid this guy up.
Well, I only heard rumours about him, John, and I just looked him up. But, I mean, I haven't seen him physically play, if I'm honest. But, but he's only young though, isn't he? He's 21. He's still got time to grow. He's nowhere near his peak yet. So, and Arsenal's looking at him as well. So, can't be a bad player.
Exactly. When you get Arsenal looking at a player, let's be real, right? He's going to be a quality player because Arsenal don't buy duffs, they buy quality players. Do you know what I mean? Young players as well. And have to agree about Chris Wood. I'm still wondering why he was brought. People say that because to the week in Burnley, yeah? And that's what a lot of people are saying. That's not the case, in my opinion. We've got to stop lumping the ball in and take shots outside the box. We're at the ball 1-2 combos. We're just a punter up team. We are Bournemouth before they went down, right? Right now, Brad.
Yeah.
He's saying we've got to lump the ball up.
Sorry?
He's saying we've got to stop lumping the ball in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's what he got a bit desperate towards the end, and that's sometimes a position that we've got ourselves in just because the way the game was going, so we didn't have much idea, and unfortunately, that was our last last resort really, and it obviously didn't work. So we've got to be a bit more creative in getting into positions where we can try and forge a chance. But yeah, it's been a bit of a problem since the season, really, just taking chances. which is something obviously we need to be, if we're going to higher up the table, something we've got to be better at, creating opportunities for ourselves and not being wasteful with them.
That's the thing. Just a quick look at John Gibson's piece, right? He's basically about Alex Isak, right? He said, right, and Tony, I don't know if you're making this as well. He's basically saying that, in his opinion, he could easily start from a wider base and support Wilson's traditional line, leading rather than be merely a replacement for him during lengthy spells of injury. He also added, Isak is a talented boy, no question, but he's young and therefore still learning. As Alan Shearer said upon the signing, he is not yet the finished article. Despite his fee, Isak has to grow into life in Newcastle.
Yeah, I mean, he's right what he's saying. I mean, yeah, he could probably play from the wing and drift in, but you know, I'm not sure if that's his natural position or if striker's more of his better position. But yeah, he's, you know, again, it'll be one of those when Wilson's back. If you play 4-3-3, is that where you drop Miggy Almer on and then play Isak on the right, you know, and let him drift in? You know, again, it's just like, you know, it's just what we do. Once Wilson's back, I suppose we don't know until then. Only Eddie Howe knows that answer. Mm-hmm. But he has got a lot of talent, and he is only 22. He's nowhere near the finished article. You can see that. And we can get the best out of him. You know, he's nowhere near his peak. So, yeah, I mean, I think once he's got into the run of this Premier League, I can see him scoring at least 15 this season without a shadow of a doubt. Because he's quality.
Exactly. Ross of that Madrid got sent off last year, last season, against Live as well. I don't watch Ukrainian league, mate. Obviously you do, mate, but I don't watch that league at all. If the Champions League was won on sideways, back passes on just to sure we are European champions, Aston Ken. And when we played last week, it was cross after cross after cross against Palace. We are the only team that do it. I want to see a fast mobile striker coming next summer. Go and find a wonder kid. Go and buy Ivan Toney. That's what I would say on that as well. And what do you think, Pete?
It's an interesting one, that one.
Mm-hmm.
It really, really is. We can definitely, I'm going to have to do with another strike, I've got to admit. I know we've got Isak, we've got Wilson, but Wilson's just made of glass. That's the problem.
That is the thing. That is the thing, man. He's just got to change it up, though, Tony. Do you think he's got to change it up? That's all he's got to do. Change formation, just change the players as well. But I think we've been a bit slightly predictable now.
Yeah, he's got to change it about. I mean, you know, which yesterday, as I say, that was the game where we should have been playing quick game. You know, we should have took it to them. You know, like playing, even if you can get a 1-2 going, you know, quicken it up. But the problem was yesterday if you look at some of the players, but when the ball was going to them, like Joe Linton and that, they were just stopping and then taking that time to look around and pass the ball, rather than just not anticipating they were getting the ball and thinking, right, okay, as soon as I get the ball, I know who I can lay it straight off to, you know. But we weren't doing that. We were just, every time we got the ball, we just sort of stopped dead and looking around and then passed it. But by the time you do that, you're giving the opposition time to get their players back in the box. So by the time you put the ball in the box, it's only going to go out for a corner, a throw-in, or the opposition lump it back upfield. You know, we just weren't quick enough. And I can see the thing you're saying about Ivan Toney. But the thing is, if he does well in the World Cup, if he does well in these two Nations League games, and that gets him into the World Cup at Qatar. Now, say he has a great World Cup for England, come off the bench and scoring, and he has a great high-scoring season for Brentford. He builds on the 12 goals he scored last season. I think he'll be out the price range next season because Brentford are going to want a lot of money for him, in excess of 50, 60 million, I would think. And that's no exaggeration, John, because that depends on, one, how he does for England, and two, on what he does in the Premier League. If he bangs in 15 to 20 goals in the Premier League this season for Brentford, he's going to be hot property and he's going to be expensive. So, you know, and I can see where we were coming from. We bought him from Northampton. Didn't really get a chance under Rafa. We sold him back and we sold him on to Peterborough, who were League One at the time. So he's gone back down the leagues to start again, and now he's proven he's a good player in the Premier League. I do think he's a good player, John. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I think the price might just be too high to get him next season. That's my thoughts, but unless he has a crap season, of course, and then, you know, nobody will want to buy him then. I don't know what your thoughts are on it, Pete and Brad and John.
It all depends, because it's a funny one, isn't it? Because there's a lot of people that said they won't have him back. I think you've got to judge him and see how he does this season.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're going to see what happens, sort of thing. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't be surprised if we do spend big again on striker. You know what I mean? But it'll be fine. It'll be right. And Scott Deff just is good enough, and unfortunately, still suffering from the previous regime, and just don't have the backup players to change games yet. Stephen, you're 110% right on that one. And Static Cleveland, by the way, is all big Arsenal fan too. Mason also said we should go after Crepin, the attack from Monaco, if we don't get Diaby as well. And Mitchell, Tony, all four Newcastle players doing really well. We need it and still needed a goal scorer. We can't trust Wilson's fitness. Media's football first half would have finished by natural goal scorer, and that is from Foxy as well. Before you wrap up as well, guys, I mean, I've got to say a big congratulations, guys, to Holly Blades, now working for Nova Radio as well. I don't know if you guys seen it on social media.
Yeah.
I wish every single success, but again, people are giving a lot of stick, and I'm going to say it now, right? If anyone got a problem with Holly, then they got a problem with all of us, yeah? Holly has been absolutely fantastic in her projects. She's got her own own channel. She's got a radio show as well, and she is going to be absolutely amazing. Tony, we're going to try and get Holly back on the show very soon. I'm going to do my best to get her back on as well. That will be amazing, and I think she would definitely come back on the show at some stage. She is absolutely amazing. Again, there's a lot of Chelsea people out there, and I'm not going to be mentioning names, but just let off Holly. And she's only 17 years old, for goodness sake. So, well done to Holly Blades. I would take my road back. Shouldn't really win them in the summer, but would imagine prices has gone up now. I agree. Don't forget to like the stream, subscribe. Thank you very much indeed. Hi, everyone from Malta. That's from Robert as well. I hope it's glorious weather in Malta, by the way. And the only man I would have taken things don't progress on the house. Pochettino has an eye for one of the kids. Possibility. Right, going to wrap up there, guys. I know you've been on there for quite a while. And so before we wrap up, I'll start with you, Brad. Where do you find you, man? Give us a shout out, mate.
You can find me on Twitter at BP_NUFC. Cheers for that, John.
No problems at all. Tony, where do you find you, mate?
Yeah, so you can find me down there at TonyTony31 on Twitter. Give me a follow. I'll follow you back. And also, you can also find this channel's also on www.northwestmags.com. It's a brand new website set up by Sefton Mag, who comes on in the chat. He set that up on Thursday. It made its debut. And it's a fantastic website. If you haven't checked it out, go and check it out. There's a gallery there. You can send your photos in of Newcastle. By, you know, if you've got your shirt on, if you're abroad anywhere and you're a landmark, take a photograph, send them in. There's an email option that you can mail your photographs to Sefton. There's also a forum there. So enter the forum, join in any discussions with other like-minded Newcastle fans, and have your say. But yeah, it's a cracking website. Go and check it out. northwestmags.com.
Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. Do check out that website as well. Absolutely fantastic. Got a channel in there as well. Tony in there as well. And a couple of good guys in webpage as well. And I have Tony as known as today, and I remember quite a few games like that. And he's not exactly quick and mobile. How many more statues do our fans want? Oh, yes. Ben, that scores 9 Premier League goals in a season. And see you later to a coffee. Speak to you soon. Middle looks like a different animal now. He's matured a lot since he was first with us. He is. 2 wingers and 1 quality midfielder urgently we need, but this team needs more than 3 players. It's going to take at least 4 more transfer windows to sort everything. I'm not optimistic for top 7 anymore. Chen, you know what? I'm with you, mate. I'm with you all the time. Peter, where do you find you on your shirt and eat like?
It's all PD Prologue, so YouTube, Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram. There you are. All PD Prologue.
Big up, big up. Well, thanks so much, guys, for joining us. And guys, you like the video, like what you see, then hit the like button, also hit the subscribe button. And also, if you like the super chats, then click on the $sign. You can also use the thanks options as well. And if you'd like to become a member, it's 99p. And that's all it is. It's not $4.99 or $8.99 or $12.99. I'm not money oriented. It's just 99p. And that's all it is. Well, thanks very much indeed. There'll be no show tomorrow because there's a Queen's funeral tomorrow. So we're going to take a day off from that. So it's going to be like a free day. We'll be back on Tuesday with John, Tony, and Maisie for the Premier League round up and also prediction show as well. And thank you very much for joining us. Anyway, I'm going to have you guys backstage. But thank you very much for joining us. And until then, it's a goodbye for now. And enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Bye all.